because this pitch is a bit different from normal. You can see the size here that is the door, and the door has the same locking mechanism than the other one has too. Up there you see the stove, and there's a lot of possibility to set up this torch any way you like. So welcome guys to another video. My name is Daniel, and yeah, this is what I've been dealing with lately. That's why I haven't been posting, because I'm basically what we call sick, melt. I'm sick, I cannot work. But it's getting better and I can actually walk. I have a small fracture on my little right ankle. I twisted the foot and I broke something. So I was supposed to make a couple of videos, but it didn't go well. And I'm about to head to El Camino Santiago. To be honest, I'm not sure how that's gonna be now, but it will be interesting. I will try though. So this is one of the videos I was about to do a week ago. There have been some people asking me if I can do the difference between the extreme versions of the Game and Labo. Sadly, I only have the tarps and the Bivuakk. I bought the regular NorTent Bivuakk in 2019, and I've been using it ever since. I set it up here though, and this is the one that I've been using since 2019, and this is probably one of the products that I've been using the most in NorTent, because it's so easy to put in your bag. This one specifically weighs 1 kilo, 1.3 around, with the pegs and stuff. And then you have the additional inner mesh tent that can fit at least 2 normal adults inside, that you can put inside here. I've been using a lot for bushcrafting, as a tarp over as a lean-to. I've been using as a tent with walking poles or a reach line. We also having an oven here, and sleeping with the scouts. And I think one of my favorites option is when you actually put a hammock in here, so you can actually close it all. Oven over there, that's what causes the on one of my videos, that side door to flap against the oven, because it was very windy. Over here though, I have the new Extreme version, and if I'm not mistaken, it weighs around 1 kilo. It has the same oven part in there, but it's a bit more flexible and lightweight than the other one. The material of this is lightweighter and probably stronger too. It feels like more smoother, to be honest. The Bivuakk Extreme has also what we call body loss here to close the doors. Is pretty much the same as the other one. You close it very simple there. They have used though the tightening mechanism that you have here from the tents. It's a bit different from the other ones here on the other one. There. It's a much simpler setup, so it might get loose though. One of the best upgrades of the Extreme is the pegs. These are much easier to adjust, and it has a extra loop there that you can attach either the peg line here or put the tent plugs. I can show you the old ones as well. Here you can see the new one, and you can see the old one that is currently attached over there. And normally, instead of the black thing, it has this this aluminum side that is supposed to function the same, but it isn't as good as those there. Even though this can break, this is a bit harder to break though, but those are better to tighten up a line. So I like this system better. You can see the old one had a Dyneema part as well. The new ones also had pretty much the same. Might be some difference between. What I noticed from the Extreme tarp and the Bivuakk is that the Extreme part has some pockets here that you can put your line on. This doesn't have it though. I really wish they had that there. It seems to be some kind of a pocket here though on the end of the side, but I'm not really sure. I think it might be for the inner tent. I think this system is different from the other one. This is the other one, and this might tend to rip. At least one of the sides is a bit loose, so it might be a bit of an upgrade there as well on the new one. The little stuffing bags is improved. This is much better made. It has a couple of those locking things for the ground that I barely haven't used on the other one as well. The pegs are pretty much the same thing, I would say. And I have attached at least 6, I think. This might be the 7th. And it's yeah, you can tell this one is a bit more solid and better than the old one. Alright, so when I first had a problem putting the oven here, and it was too windy, so even though I have tightened it pretty good, this part of the old flap touched the stove. So NorTent actually sent me the repair stuff so I can do that at home, and I actually have seam sealed the Bivuakk at home as well. I will need to do that on the other one because they are not pre-seam sealed. Part of the reasons I think the Bivuakk flapped is because this door, they haven't fixed that on the Bivuakk. I was hoping that the Extreme version had the a zipper, because the thing is, when this Bivuakk or tarp is so big, it might serve as a wind sail, and it's difficult to keep it in place. So that puts it in a difficult situation sometimes because of the oven. If you are using the oven, it needs to be super wind calm. It can't be super windy because it might flap and touch the oven, especially when it's even more lighter now than it used to be before. Apart from that, I think it's a very good tarp. It can protect you from the wind, over good space from the side as well, and you can close it up like an old tent. That's why and it's so easy to actually put in the bag. That's why I prefer to use the Bivuakk compared to the other tarp, basically, because it's much more flexible to be thing. But if I need a really quick tarp to set up, I will probably use the Hellenen tarp that they have, that is easier to set up than this one, with a bit more of a functional additions or details compared. But if I know that if they're going to do a bushcrafting thing or a scout thing, I will probably bring the Bivuakk, and also especially if I'm going to put the hammock in here, it will serve as a perfect well, I think it's actually much better than the war bonnet if you put the hammock inside here, because it protects you more from the elements than the other one does, and it gives you some privacy, you know. Alright, so what I think though, if you have the old the Bivuakk, I don't think you should upgrade. It's not much of a difference unless you want to have the new version. It's up to you. It has some improvement from the old one, apart from the weight and the peg lines and the darker color, I would say, because I think it's easier to sleep when it's a darker color, and the stuff bags as well. But apart from that, it's not much of a difference, and I think if I wouldn't have choose though, I would probably make the Extreme version even smaller than this one, because you know the hype of the Dyneema tents are walking pole tents these days. The Extreme version will be a great addition to that, because it's, you don't need as much space that it actually has, because you can fit a lot of people inside this tarp. And I will probably drop the oven part for the Extreme version, because it's a bit too risky to be using with this tent. But I think they also should make also a polycotton version that is smaller with the zips, because I think this tent is great for the bushcrafting and camping. Great. Right now at the moment it's more for the everyday persons, scout leaders as I am, or people that like to go out or sleep under a tarp. This would be great. But I think it should be cool to have a polycotton version that is a bit smaller with the zips, that can withstand a lot more of the weather, that maybe also has a built-in mesh or something like that, because or some kind of a different mesh setting, because I think if you actually manage to have, well, the polycotton doesn't need to have that, but the Extreme version might need to have that, because if we are going to do long distance hikes, you want it to be carrying a mesh probably as well. It will be nice to see a lightweight version of the mesh that you can put here really quickly, to make it a long distance tent. Now they have the Varn semi-freestyling tent, so they really don't need that, and I really like the Bivuakk as it is, to be honest. So it's just a pinch of salt if I had to choose to make it again. I will say maybe just to differ the polycotton version for the camping and bushcrafting, and the Extreme for those who actually want to go long distance hikes instead. So you have two products that are pretty much similar, but one is for the others and the other one is for the other, because I'm not sure if it is worth it to go from the Arctic version to the Extreme on this type of a tarp at the moment, but it will be much more difference if you have a polycotton version and call it Arctic for and you have the Extreme version that is for lightweight, you know. So I hope you like this video, guys. I hope I get better for the upcoming trip that is just around the corner now. I'm crossing my fingers. I hope you like this video, guys, and see you soon.